RIPs all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Promise to come to you live direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with all that dank shit on my left. Oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Oh wait, are we live? Are we live? My bad. I know my mic was on. My fault.
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on threes and fours, Kronos.
Dan feels good to be a gangster.
Well, shit.
We may have Stitch join in. We don't know about Blue quite yet, but we're going to keep it moving for y'all. Kronos, you usually got some wonderful statistics for us to start it off. What you got?
That I do. In 1 second, listener of the week would be user 9152160, along with another user.
Awesome.
First in the chat would be, I'm pulling it up. It's hard to get to now because of YouTube changing shit constantly. Nobody yet. So
I just saw the notification.
Okay.
All right, old ninja. Looks like we got a nice one. Just one, maybe, for pouring out some type of beverage. What are you pouring out and for who?
We're going to pour out some Colt 45 on this one, fam. We're pouring out for Jessica Walter, an actress that had 6-decade-long career with some 162 projects. And some of her most recognizable work is from Arrested Development and Archer. She's won an Emmy for her role in Amy Prentice. I believe that's how I pronounce the name. But she actually got her start on Broadway. Her big screen debut was in the film Lilith, with incidentally also starred Gene Hackman in his big screen debut. They actually were co-stars in one of a Broadway production together. So that was actually kind of an interesting twist. You can see her in many, many, many films, including Arrested Development as well as Archer, but also in Play Misty for Me, which was Clint Eastwood's directorial debut. TV shows such as Dinosaurs, Harley Quinn, the animated series, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and so many more. She served as second national vice president of the Screen Actors Guild and was also elected member of the SAG Board of Directors for more than a decade. Damn. She passed away in her sleep at the age of 80. At least so far, no other, nefarious harm has been reported, but for now it's being reported she passed away in her sleep.
I want to say this news was kind of shocking. I mean, I knew she was like not a spring chicken, but just she looked like she was vibrant and with it and doing a lot of projects. Like Archer's been going on for a long time, but she's just had a lot of work in terms of her career. So, and I thought she was hilarious, like especially on Arrested Development. She was funny as fucking shit.
Yeah, she was doing a lot of drama work, and then she switched it up to comedy, and that's where most people remember her for, is doing a lot of comedy stuff. So, yeah. I mean, she was 80 years old. She lived a fairly long life. I mean, but she was still working. So,
yep, very sad.
R.I.P.
I'll add in
any others.
I'll add one extra,
Yeah.
only, but it was a long time ago. But it was 16 years ago, right around this week, my dad passed away. So, R.I.P. Clyde. Miss you, man.
All right.
And also, I'd like to give out some happy birthdays, because we don't ever do those, really. But happy birthday to Patrick, his birthday was over the past week, and Bunny Man, who has been a guest on the podcast a whole bunch of times. And we have Black and Yellow, which you haven't done in forever, so for obvious reasons.
Yeah, his Bunny Man's birthday was yesterday, correct?
Yeah.
Or was it today?
I think Patrick's was like 2 days ago. So, yeah.
Good shit. Were there any others for you, old ninja?
No, that was a big one.
Oh shit! Well, we got a fucking show for y'all this week. I guess we will. Are we still skipping? Well, we're waiting on Blue to give some real fucking awesome news, but we've been waiting on this motherfucker for 3 weeks.
We have. We probably should give him a press. Hey man, just come on for 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah. We're trying to be patient with him. But where would you guys like to start? Should we start with the real stuff in terms of real world, or are we going to jump into some entertainment shit?
I want to wait for the real one in case Stitch can come on, which he might be able to in a couple of minutes. We will see. If not, then we'll go into it. Let's go into something that's more entertaining and funny and shit.
Okay. Then let's dive on in. One of the biggest shocking entertainment news. I mean, did everybody see the video for Lil Nas X Montero?
I forgot to watch it today.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I saw, like, I understand the premise of it, and I saw, like, clips of it, and I was just like, oh, he's going there. And I understood why he was going there, which is kind of funny, because it still had controversy. But go ahead and break it up because you actually saw it.
Yeah, definitely watch. I mean, here's the thing. Watch the video for certain. This is... It's not like Old Town Road. He's
working on Satan.
Yeah, I mean, he's sliding down a giant... Everybody's seen either the GIF or the meme about it, but he's sliding down this giant fucking stripper pole in platform heels and a thong all the way down to hell. And twerking on...
I have not seen this meme.
You haven't seen this? It's been all over.
What the
twerking on Satan. There is a lot of mythological stuff in it. It's him addressing a lot of things in terms of, I guess, religious mythology, and some of the whole blatantly anti-gay stuff in a lot of Western religions. He does kill Satan in it, and it's a pretty provocative video all the way around. The song is decently catchy. I don't think it's nearly as catchy as fucking Old Town Road. You know what I mean? But the imagery in it is obviously causing some people to be clutching their pearls out of fake ass shock or whatever. We're a certain age, and so we've seen artists all the way back from like the 70s through the 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s doing the semi-religious, semi-satanic, shocking videos or music stuff for a very long time. But just in general, and you guys haven't seen the video, but have you heard about the stir with this?
Yes. A little bit of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about him, like, giving a lap dance to Satan and all that shit, and like I said, I want to watch it. It looked like interesting. I want to watch it just to see like what it's all about. It just seems incredibly funny to me that people are still up in arms about stupid shit like this. When if you want to talk about like religious imagery, it's like, I mean, The Devil Came Down to Georgia was a song a long fucking time ago. It wasn't controversial. Just be honest. The controversy here is that it's a gay black man that is made a song that has devil imagery in it, but you see devil imagery and a whole bunch of other shit that you don't complain about, and they miss the point of the fact that he made the song. That's kind of like a fuck you to everybody that was saying that he was like spawn of the devil or evil or whatever, because the Bible says that you can't be gay. Well, I mean, it's fucking bullshit. If you don't realize that it's bullshit, and that's what you take away from the Bible is this crazy ass dogma that's written by fucking sheep farmers 2,000 years ago. It's like, are you, and it's cobbled together. It's been rewritten multiple times, and that's what you want to pull out of it is that gay people are the spawn of the devil and that they're evil and all that stuff. Like they have nothing to do with you. Like, I don't understand how people want to go into somebody's life and like kind of destroy their lives because you don't like what they do in their bedroom. Like, I don't give a fuck. Listen, I can't stand Christian music, like with a fucking passion. I can't stand it. If in my world it wouldn't exist, but I'm not going to advocate for it not existing in this world because people like it. I guess it's for a reason. It's a fucking stupid reason in my mind, but I'm not out there with a fucking pitchfork, and signs and shit saying stop all, Christian music. Even though to me, you're preaching and singing songs about total fucking bullshit. So,
I like it. I like it for boss battles when it's all in Latin as a like the chanting stuff or whatever for a boss battle in Doom or something like that.
Yeah.
Or certain anime.
I mean, y'all act like y'all wasn't all about Enigma back in the 90s. Everybody was all about them.
I mean, Slayer.
Everybody was doing the naughty to Enigma back then.
Yeah. Look, Kiss had a and I will get into this part in a little bit later, but Kiss had a fucking Marvel comic that was supposed to have, or was advertised as having, a real blood in the cover of it or something like that back in the 70s. Because this is alluding to his whole Satan shoes, which I know we're going to get into as well. But, this is controversy to sell records, and it's been something that's been done for at least 4 or 5 decades now. Go ahead, Old Ninja.
I haven't seen this, so I have no idea. The biggest thing that I've heard about was the shoes. Like, the shoes is the biggest thing that was the biggest takeaway, at least from the media that I've seen. I mean, I've heard about the imagery and whatnot, but the memes were all bringing up stuff like... so the memes were bringing up stuff about, how people were saying, like, this imagery was bad for kids, but then they were showing stuff that kids were watching. Like, if you're watching Powerpuff Girls, they had him. What was the other one? There's another one. Oh, South Park.
Yeah.
That's not for kids either.
Yeah, South Park.
Those are bad
that's
examples.
not for kids. Yes, correct. South Park is not. However, kids were watching South Park.
It's not for kids. Like, this is the problem I have when people talk about, like, they try to compare, like, Dr. Seuss with WAP. It's not for kids. Like, they don't teach WAP in fucking schools. Dr. Seuss, they do. So that's the big problem that people don't really seem to understand it. And it bothers me to this day that they can't understand that there's shit for kids and shit not for kids. And it is your job as a parent to filter out what they're consuming through media. And if you're not doing that, you're doing your kids a disservice, and you're just being a piece of shit parent if you're letting them watch that. Nobody shoved it down their throat. Nobody, literally nobody.
The other thing is, it's hard to find, especially for rap videos, videos with zero twerking. Like, I would say a very high percentage have some twerking in them. Not all, not every single one. I get it. But this has some stripper iconography and some twerking in it. It's of him, rather than some video vixen. But, most people weren't clutching their pearls over, twerking in rap videos.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of them have. I mean, we just went back to WAP. I mean, they got mad because the imagery and, the twerking and the lyrics in the song, even though it was edited on the Grammys. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, all right, listen, if your kids are watching the Grammys and a song like WAP came on, you know what it was about. I mean, have them leave the room. So it's not that, and they're not, it's edited anyway. But if you have a problem with the imagery, be like, hey, listen, this ain't appropriate for my kids. Take them out of the room. It's not hard.
The actual show has a rating as well.
Yeah, and just pay attention to it. Like, I can't, this is so ridiculous to me that in 2021, people are still not paying attention. They give you fucking morons guides for shit like this. It's the reason why we have stupid shit like, don't swallow these fucking poisonous things on the sides of containers. Because there's fucking morons out there like, well, I didn't say it, so I'm going to do it, and I died, or I got seriously injured, so now I'm going to sue them. So
don't put glue in your hair.
Yeah.
Don't eat Tide Pod.
All this shit, like, all these things are, like, do we need to bubble wrap the rest of the world even more for people's stupidity when we're already having the things in place to let you know as a parent or as a person, like, hey, watch any show right now that's on TV. Right before it comes on, what comes up in the upper left-hand corner? The rating of the show, and it'll tell you exactly why it's rated like that. So you can tell right before the show starts, hey, maybe I shouldn't let my kid watch pussy and fucking blood and violence, because it tells you right there. There's going to be nudity, blood, violence, gore, all that shit. If that's okay with you and your kids, then go ahead and watch it. If not, fucking change the channel.
Actually,
sorry, real quick. Even like, okay, that's television, and obviously I understand we're in 2021. People are doing even the streaming services do the same thing. Like, they're not as regulated by the FCC, but like they still do it just as a pre-warning, so that there's no surprise that, hey, this is a more mature show than a kid's show, whether it's animated or live action. You are aware, if you pay attention ahead of time, with what you're watching. They tell you. Go ahead, Old Ninja.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, streaming services, especially if they are showing, like Hulu, for instance, if they're showing a show from network TV, there's a huge disclaimer. There's a narrator that tells you what you're about to watch is rated a certain rating, and it in big white letters it tells you why it's rated this. And there's a bunch of little print for some other shit too. But and their biggest thing is this huge marquee about what the rating of the show is, and then why it's being rated this way. And it gives the guy that announces to you gives you a huge disclaimer, and it says viewer discretion is advised. If you people act like this has never been heard before or told you before.
Well, and I mean beyond even all of that, all these streaming services and YouTube, which is obviously a streaming service, they have kids versions of these things or a kid profile. So for parents to be out there and be like, I don't want my kids to watch that, you literally have the tools where that content will never reach them. You just gotta put forth a little bit of fucking effort, but you don't want to do it because you're lazy. Like it's really easy to install the kid version of YouTube on a tablet, or if you're watching YouTube on your TV, you have your kids profile that's only for kids. And you only get kid content. But if you're not doing that, the only person to blame is yourself because you're being lazy. It's just like you getting into a car and the seatbelts are there, but you're just like, no, we're not going to use them. You know, with your kids in the car, don't use them. Even though they're there, we're just not going to use them because it's too much of a hassle for me to literally click it in for my kid.
Yep,
that's literally what it is.
And remember too, like, yes, he had this big hit. What was it, 2019 or whatever? Old Town Road. That was pretty benign in terms of like explicit content. I don't think it had anything really in there. Just like when Miley Cyrus kind of had a more squeaky clean image back in the day, and a few years later, was on top of cannonballs and some stripper outfits. Like artists can, twerking. Artists can change, and if you don't feel comfortable with your kids who used to like Old Town Road and Lil Nas X 2 years ago, listening to him now, that's totally fine. Yeah. But he's gonna evolve. He's gonna develop as an artist. Like I said, I don't think this one is nearly as catchy as Old Town Road, but also, he was viewed as in a lot of ways as a one-hit wonder, and so this is giving his career a second life, that may not have happened if not for some controversial changes. It's a business.
So getting back to the shoe thing, I didn't know that he was. I guess the shoes are featured in the video or something, but then they're marketing the shoes. Hold
on, I don't think he's definitely wearing some stripper heels. I didn't see the actual shoes in this video. They definitely seem like they're inspired by the video directly, and they're called Satan shoes or whatever. These are really just 90s Air Maxes, Nike Air Maxes with different like features on them and a few different like scribbling here, a pentagram there.
666.
They basically say 666 on under limited edition, but the other thing is Nike's saying they didn't have anything to fucking do with this, so they've already sued the other company and Lil Nas X, probably rightly so. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to sell some Air Maxes that are Nikes and do have that swoosh on them, they need to be involved. You can't be doing that. Yeah. So I totally get that. And at the same time, these shoes have gone up in value exponentially since he announced them. I think they were already $1,000. Last I checked on eBay, they were double that. They might be more because of limited release and the controversy around them. But yeah, there's going to be some lawsuits. And there already are.
So that being said, those shoes, if he gets sued and whatnot and the production stopped, the price of those shoes are going to even skyrocket even more.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can like $10,000 shoes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's crazy, but I can't knock the hustle of, you're an artist and you probably did have some fucked up things happen to you being a gay black male growing up and internalize some of that, whatever, self-hatred, religious stuff. And now you're, more out and, out of not just out of the closet, but more outgoing in terms of his sexuality or whatever. I'm fine with all that. Make some catchy music. There's plenty of gay musical artists, but I don't see what the real big deal is, given the fact that we have had so many death metal bands with satanic shit for like 4 fucking decades. Like, it's so funny to me. You know, you've never heard of Slayer, you've never heard of AC/DC or Black Sabbath. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Stitch.
I mean, what is it? Ozzy Osbourne is the self-proclaimed Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
Alice
Stitch.
Cooper,
Hold
come
on,
on.
real quick. Stitch, you there?
Hey, what's up?
All right, cool. We got you. No video, just
That's
audio.
Dead.
No video or whatever. Try to squeeze in as much time as I can or whatever. Babies, I'm on baby duty, so baby's asleep, so I can hang out with the boys for a little bit and see what's going on or whatever. I was listening to you guys talk about Lil Nas X, and the thing that I heard was that there were only, I guess, 666 copies or
shoes
amounts of these shoes or whatever, which I guess obviously creates the whole supply-demand thing, and sneakerheads are trying to flip them and got the bots out, like Prodigy was getting destroyed for the PlayStation 5. I guess they're doing the same thing for the Lil Nas X Satan shoes and everything. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't even know what to say to it or whatever. I pretty much, you guys sort of summed up my whole thoughts on it in terms of like, be a good parent. Like even even the Old Town Road stuff, if you really listen to like the lyrics, like not the Kid Bop lyrics, it's probably not appropriate, some of the stuff that he's saying. I mean, even some of the songs that are really popular today, if we're talking about like The Weeknd or whatever, I mean, he's singing about cocaine and shit, and I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, we're talking about, even a couple of years ago, people were singing Blurred Lines, and that was highly rapey, but people were just like singing it along like it was no big deal. But I mean, they're just acting and, like you said, clutching their pearls about this. So it's another outrage, I guess.
Did you see the video, Stitch?
I did see the video.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that bad. I was expecting a lot worse.
Yeah.
I had saw like the outrage and people going ham on Twitter, and I was like, okay, this has got to be like some Nelly tip drill type stuff, but it really wasn't. And I'm just like, all right. So he's giving a lap dance to, I guess, the Satan dude, and I mean, objectively speaking, I mean, he looks like he gives a good lap dance. I mean,
save that clip.
I've gotten strippers. I've gotten lap dances from strippers that were worse than what I've seen. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's an artist. If that's the art that he wants to put out, that's on him. I mean, if it appeals to certain people, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's his own calculated decision that he wants to make. And there's no reason for people to jump down his shit and try to say he's problematic or anything. I mean, it is what it is. If you don't like what he's singing, turn the dial to the left or turn the dial to the right and find a new station. It's really not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
What's a dial? These kids don't know. While we have you, Kronos, you wanted to go into, what was it, the Chauvin trial with Stitch a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, since it's on now.
Go ahead.
I mean, he watched more of it than I did.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of really good clips. So, yeah. Go ahead, man. Set it up.
Oh, man. So we're in, I guess this is day 3, maybe? During the past, I guess, couple weeks, they've been doing the whole jury selection and everything. And I've always been fascinated with actual, like, trials and stuff. I'm obviously a criminal justice major, so courts and legal stuff, I mean, I think it's really fascinating to me. So I've been sort of addicted to watching as much of it as I can. In what's it called? Criminal proceedings, the prosecution will normally call their witnesses first. The defense will have a chance to cross-examine the witnesses, and the defense will call their witnesses, and then the prosecution will cross-examine those witnesses. So essentially we're on day 2 or day 3 of prosecution witnesses being called, and prosecution is doing a great job so far of just laying down, this was excessive, this was not necessary. He went well over and beyond the concept of reasonable force, which is going to be like the key term that you're going to hear is like, was the force used reasonable for like what was going on? And we've talked about this for about 10 months now in terms of us saying like, yo, this was excessive. This was not reasonable. Floyd was handcuffed. He's on the ground. The fight's over. There's no reason for you to have his knee on his neck for now what was termed to be, I guess, 929 is the new number that was once the videos and everything came out. So it was really interesting to see all the video that they laid out, and we've seen most of like the cell phone footage and everything and clips when you watch it on Twitter or whatever it is that you're watching it. But the prosecution went to each and every officer's body camera footage from well, at least today, and they played it all, 10, 15 minutes of it from beginning to end. There was no clips or cuts being like, oh yeah, you know what happens next or anything like that. They played it all for the jury to see over and over and over again. Each time, same stuff you're saying, nothing new. It's just a different angle from Officer A or Officer B and Officer C's body camera footage. So they see, yeah, you watch this dude die, and I don't want to call it like a snuff film or whatever, just because this is an actual thing that happened, so it's actual factual, real life stuff. But they made the jury watch it at least 5-6 times today, which I thought was an excellent move by the prosecution to do. Because you want them to see what happened. You don't want them to forget, because after the prosecution's done, the defense most likely isn't going to want to have the jury look at that video. They're going to play all this like technical stuff in terms of like, oh, what's their standard operation and procedures? What were you trained on in the academy? Was the crowd hostile and all this stuff? But prosecution did a great job, I thought, of just showing over and over again, this is what happened. Don't you forget it. And you're going to watch it over and over and over again, so you don't forget in a couple weeks because this trial is going to be 20-some days. So making sure that they remember what it is that actually happened here, rather than trying to give a false narrative on how things were possibly perceived.
Good setup. Glenn, let's get in here. You saw more of the trial, right?
Yeah. I thought they did a really good job with a lot of the witnesses that were there. They had a guy. I didn't know about some of these witnesses that were there, but one guy was a pro MMA fighter, and he gave some really good testimony about like chokeholds and stuff, like to help kind of clear up what a layperson might not understand, that if you're getting choked, like the difference between like a blood choke and an airway choke, and if you're getting a blood choke, you can breathe all you want, but you're not getting blood to your brain, and you can cut off blood to your brain from just one side, and if you have another thing on the other side, that's going to still cut off both blood paths to your brain with your carotid arteries. So I thought that he did a really good job, and they kind of tried to gaslight him a little bit, the defense of saying how he was angry, blah blah blah, but he handled it pretty well, because they want to make it seem like he was like some angry black man, but it's like, I mean, first of all, like watching somebody get murdered in front of you, like you're supposed to be indifferent. I mean, indifferent is the reason why he's dead. Is the reason why George Floyd is dead, is because you had 3 other people that were indifferent, and then one person that murdered him. And other people that were forced to watch this man get murdered in front of them, including children, who also took the stand. Yep. And that's fucked up to like have children watch this guy kill this guy in front of them who's supposed to be protecting people, and he murdered a guy for over 9 minutes. I mean, people had to just sit by and watch. And the fact that the MMA guy actually called the police on the police will kind of dispel, because they're probably going to make it seem like the MMA guy, because he is black as well, that he probably doesn't like the police. But it's like, listen, if he called the police, obviously he doesn't have a problem with the police. He's trying to get the police to do their fucking job and to stop this guy from murdering somebody.
He's also not on trial.
No, he's not.
He's not on trial.
But I mean, it's the defense's job is going to be to discredit the witnesses, any way possible. So I get it. It's scummy. Like I wouldn't want to do that job, but it's a tactic that you can use. So I thought that he did a really good job. I think that he showed some really damning evidence of like basically how he had to watch, and then he had to call the police and all this blah blah blah. But also, I didn't know there was a firefighter there as well, and she had some really fucked up like damning evidence against them as well, because she actually was like, "Hey, I'm a firefighter. Let me administer aid," and they were like, "Nah." And I'm just like, "What?" I didn't even know that she was even there, like trying to say, like, "Hey, we need to like save this person. Like, he has no pulse. Like, we need to administer aid." And they were like, "No, you don't help us. We got this." And they just let the guy die after he didn't have a pulse. Like, you had somebody there on site that could have saved his life, and they declined her assistance. And it's like, for what? Like, they're not going to have any real answer to that. Like, why would you not administer aid to somebody that was in your custody, wasn't resisting arrest at the time, he was totally physically incapacitated, and you know that he lost consciousness and his pulse. So the man is dying. You know he's dying. The police officers, at minimum, should have administered some kind of aid. If they didn't want to, I guess you're already a piece of shit. But also, a person is willing to help you get out of the situation and to save his life, but you still forced them to not administer aid, and forced her, somebody that's literally getting paid, like her job is to save lives, and you force them to watch you take a life right in front of her. And it's like, dude, that is some really fucked up shit. And I wasn't aware of that at all.
It was really fascinating because during the cross-examination of the firefighter girl, he was like framing all these questions like, "Oh, have you ever had to put out a fire with people watching, or with people recording a camera, or with people yelling at you? Like, that would affect..." And she was just like, "Fire is fire. Like, I'm spraying water on the fire and shit like that." And then it's just like, and in my head, I'm just like, if I was like, I mean, obviously I'm big sports fans, but if I were to be like, "Yo, Coach Belichick, I can't throw touchdowns when people are booing me.
Yeah.
I can't do that."
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I need dead silence. I need to play in football in a bubble or something. I wouldn't have a fucking job. And like, you know that I mean, everybody knows that that's part of the job or whatever. Is you're gonna have to do shit in a stressful situation, or when things are hostile and people are yelling at you. I mean, that is part of the job, and it's a requirement for you to be able to actually like fucking do it. And so for like the defense attorney to maybe even like start going with maybe that seed of doubt, being like, "Oh, well, the situation was so crazy where people were yelling at him and he just locked up and he froze up." That's not an excuse. Like, it doesn't work like that in that job or whatever. You don't get that leeway or whatever. That's what you train for. That's what you practice for. That's what you go to the academy and do all this other extracurricular stuff or whatever to do. I mean, you can't be like, "Oh, I can't shoot my gun when I'm stressed. When my heart rate goes over 75, my firearm accuracy is just trash." Like, no one would hire that dude or whatever, because when you need to pull the trigger, you're supposed to be fucking stressed. You're supposed to be making these decisions in stressful situations, and you're supposed to be good at making decisions and performing under stress. We wouldn't tolerate that from any other circumstance at all. It's fucking crazy. If you were like a surgeon, you'd be like, "I can only perform surgery when I'm the only one in the room." Like, no, it doesn't work like that sometimes, Mr. Doctor, Mr. ER Doctor. Like, you have to adjust, and you have to be able to do your job in stressful situations, or you're not good at it, and you got to pay the penalties if you injure somebody or harm them.
Yeah, well, I think another thing too, when the defense was trying to say that there was a hostile crowd. Okay, if you want to go into fantasy land, we thought the crowd was really that hostile. Why did you have 3 officers on one person, and they didn't get up and try to calm down the crowd? First of all, nobody tried to like really de-escalate shit. All right, so let's just be honest. They didn't de-escalate anything. If there was really a problem with the crowd and you really were fearing for your life, then why don't you get off the guy who's already incapacitated, that's already in handcuffs on the ground, and handle the crowd? If that's your concern, if you're saying that you're fearing the crowd because they were hostile, then how about you take some bodies off of the body that's on the ground and handle the crowd, because they're not in handcuffs. If you're really concerned about them, if they're scary to you, then handle them. However, handle them in some sort of way, but you didn't. Like, so that whole theory of like the crowd was hostile, just falls apart because nobody was throwing shit at you. If you can't handle words, then if you can't handle like harsh words, you don't even deserve to be a fucking teacher. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, like people say harsh words every day to people. Like,
yeah, it's words. It's not like like Black Hawk Down. That was a hostile situation.
Yeah, that was a hostile crowd. Yeah,
yeah, that was a hostile crowd. From my count, it was less than 10, at least from how I remember it. So between 7 to 10 people standing on a sidewalk yelling, calling me a bum.
And some of them were kids.
Saying,
and some of them were kids.
Yeah.
At least 4 of them were kids.
Exactly. Yeah. Yo, you're a bum. Oh shit, that's fucking hostile. We gotta go. Like I'm fucking stressed. Like no fucking toddler, or not a toddler, but a juvenile calling me a bum or calling me a bitch ass dude or whatever like that. That's not stress. Like I don't understand it. And if you're stressed out by that, then you need to go work in a library.
Yeah. For real.
I really hope this trial lands in a conviction, man. I just want the end result. I've been purposely trying to not follow every day's worth of details, but I want a conviction at the end of the day. We'll see though.
Well, let's talk about some of the. There was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Old Ninja.
Yeah, I had a question for both Cronus and Stitch. Did they bring up the partner, his partner and his relationship to Chauvin? Is that how
Chauvin?
Is it Chauvin or Chauvin? Chauvin. Did they bring up their relationship yet or no?
Probably, at least not from what I saw. I mean, I don't think that is technically relevant because Chauvin is the one on trial.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably get tossed out by the judge to be like, unless it was something that you could prove was premeditated, and you said that, yo, prior to this call, you and him were talking at the station about, yo, we want to go fuck up some black people. Then, that would be be allowed in court. But anything that's just like circumstantial or not in direct connection with what actually happened on that between him and other officers, that's probably not admissible. And I mean, then you get into this whole thing in terms of like who's actually on trial between Chauvin and the other officers, because they got their own trials to worry about. So it's like you can't really.
My thing was that apparently there's a family connection between him and his partner.
Well,
apparently Chauvin's married to his partner's sister.
Well, they're divorced now, but yeah,
but at the time,
yeah, shortly after this happened, she was like, "Okay, I'm out of here."
So that could be relevancy, especially like them, the brother-in-law protecting each other, you know, in this situation. So that could be relevancy in the case. So I don't know if this has been brought up yet or not, or
no, I don't.
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cronus.
Yeah, I don't think it's really that relevant. I mean, because they're brothers in, you know, quote unquote arms, anyway.
Okay.
So any officer would try to protect another officer, but I mean, to that extreme, like you're literally watching a guy murder a dude. I'm just like, that's a little far. So actually, it's not a little far. It's really fucking far. It should never occur.
Yeah.
There you go.
I agree.
We shall see. We'll keep posted on this. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a two week thing at least. So I mean, when shit gets close, we'll see, and I'm sure it'll be monumental. However it goes down.
Cool. Now, but since we got Stitch on here, Stitch, you hadn't had a chance to put your thoughts on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know you've had some very animated thoughts about what's going on. You've seen the first 2 episodes. Really quick, you think you can break down your thoughts on it?
Overall, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's entertaining. It is obviously a different story structure than WandaVision was. I mean, WandaVision was more of a mystery in terms of like what's going on here. I'm kind of getting pieces, and pretty much all of YouTube was just full of like theories in terms of like what's actually happening here, and we didn't get really any like action per se till maybe like episode 4. This one, I mean, obviously the first scene, you're jumping out the plane and all hell's breaking loose, so it's obviously a different feel. I'm enjoying it. However, I do have some sort of head scratching moments. Nothing that makes me want to quit it or anything. I've seen articles where people are talking about the, I guess, the monetary stuff going on with Falcon, which at the time, even before I saw the articles, and I was just like scratching my head because some of the stuff I was just like, that's kind of a reach, at least how I felt it. I understand that veterans came back to some fucked up shit. When they came back from like Vietnam, they were treated like pieces of shit. They were just pretty much forgotten about, and especially Black veterans completely understand that, and I accept that as fact. I'm just having a little bit of a hard time accepting that in 2023 or whatever year it's supposed to be taking place in, that people are struggling even recognizing who Falcon is.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I mean, he's not like LeBron James, obviously, but he's up there. I mean, in terms of who he is, at least how I would imagine him being able to be like recognized. And then the whole bank scene threw me for a loop. I'll ignore the whole him wanting to be a fisherman and collect shrimp and live his Bubba Gump life with his sister on the bayous of Louisiana, whatever. I'll let that slide or whatever. But we talked in our group chat, because I was asking Kronos like how pensions work in the military and stuff like that, because I was like, okay, I know he was military. I couldn't remember, it was foggy in terms of like if he left honorably or dishonorably, or if he got injured, or why he left the military, but I knew that he was still connected doing military shit, and they obviously established that because he's like hanging out with the Air Force, doing Air Force sort of missions, whether they're on the books or off the books. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's one thing. But I would imagine you're still getting a check for that, and I'm sure that they got you with their benefits or something of that nature. But for them to just be all of a sudden like, yo, you are doing this for free on your own dollar, you don't get any pension, any benefits, you can't go to the Navy Federal Credit Union, get a loan, and we don't care. It shows that you weren't here for 5 years, so you got no work, so it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I'm just like, I don't buy that, especially when we're living in a time right now where we just had a pandemic take us out for 10 months, and we all got stimulus checks for whatever. Well, most of us got stimulus checks for a couple grand. For them to just turn the back on the military completely, I'm just like, I don't know. Especially when he's talking at the fucking Smithsonian and giving fucking presentations
Yeah.
for the military, and they're just like, yo, we don't know you. We can't help you. Like, we can't. You don't have a paycheck. Like, what are they just handing them bags of cash? If they are handing them bags of cash, then he should be able to get this fucking boat fixed. Would he not? Like, I assume military contracts make money. I've heard Kronos talk about like they military contracts they pay you pretty decently, and for him doing some flying around, blowing up shit, kicking people in the mountains, I would imagine.
Yeah,
he'd have been paid. He's not getting paid $15 an hour to do that.
No, he would have been highly, like if he was a military contractor, he'd have been paid in the probably close in the millions. So yeah, and use of the technology that he was using, so it wouldn't have been really a problem. So yeah, that whole piece, I understand what they're trying to do, to make it kind of artificially put in like the racial thing about getting declined loans and stuff like that, but it's like in this aspect you kind of have to sort of suspend disbelief in this aspect. He has no reason to be broke that they've explained so far to me. No, there's no reason why he should not be able to get a loan or already have existing money. So they need to do a little better job explaining that, or just fucking ignore going forward, and people just forget about it. Because right now it's explained poorly. It is a plot hole, but overall though the show's pretty fucking good. So
I'm gonna bring up something with this show. Ever since the very first Captain America movie with the super soldier serum going in, Steve, we've been shown and led to believe that super soldiers have cat-like reflexes. Like, you can't just run up on somebody with an AK and him being Captain America and you get the drop on him and he's dead. The super soldiers with the palm, the flag snatchers or whatever, that guy getting gunned down but being a super soldier so easily seems odd to me. Maybe they'll explain it later, but I could have sworn, like, between Cap and Bucky and all, like, if you had the serum in you or some form of it, you were not invincible, but you had some serious reflexes that should make you be able to dodge. Not dodge completely bullets, but like get out of the way and have some crazy athleticism if you wanted to.
You want to hear my theory on
Are
that?
you talking about Walker? Or
No.
No,
I'm talking about the bad guy that sacrificed himself so his friends could get away at the airport.
Yeah, so he just kicked over the pole and stood there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that Stitch just hit the nail on the top. Well, I feel is the nail is that he stood there to sacrifice himself. Like, you keep the fight on me, so if I'm gonna let my friends get on the plane and take off, I'm gonna let them be focused on me so they can't get around me. I'm gonna knock down this pole that they can't drive through. Well, I'm just saying it wasn't a fight, but I'm gonna sit there and, like, I'm gonna be the roadblock, like a living roadblock to these military.
Hold on, if you're trying to stall for time, and you have super soldier serum in you, to me it makes more sense to be like, yes, put up a roadblock, but also like be coming out of nowhere like a fucking cat, like almost like Black Panther was when he dropped out of the plane and took out that whole fucking thing with the Nakia, like that whole entourage or whatever. Like, you have ridiculous reflexes to literally fight a whole bunch of people, even though they have guns. If you're a super soldier,
but he's outnumbered, and he's probably gonna die either way. So I mean,
he
knew that going in.
How many punches did he throw?
Yeah, here's my hot take. Here's my hot take on this situation. Right, so we all know doctors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whether you score the highest in your class or lowest in your class, you still were a doctor, right? I think there could be really shitty super soldiers. So, and I think he was just the bottom of the class guy. He fucking knew it. He was the fucking beta male. He's like, you know what? I was going to take one for the team. I'm fucking useless anyway, except for knocking over fucking telephone poles. Other than that, like, it's a wrap. I ain't got no fucking actual skills. So maybe he's just a shitty super soldier. So
that too. I mean, we don't know how well this serum worked. I mean,
we'll see.
It is a knockoff. It may not be. So if for those of you who are kind of lost, we're talking about specifically the second episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but hold on. I will say this though: even if it is a knockoff, and we'll see maybe in subsequent episodes, we do know that they're strong, but we do know that they do at least some, if not most, appear to have some ridiculously superhuman reflexes, at least demonstrated on top of like the fight scene on top of the cars and whatnot. They're not normal humans, but I don't know. I would have expected a little bit more. Even if you're stalling for time, I would have expected a couple punches, a couple flying kicks, some running, a little bit more. Like, that was a weird scene to me.
Well, but it's also like how...
to me because... Oh, go ahead.
It's like how well they train, though. Like, we all know that Steve was well-trained. It wasn't just a... There's a couple things about, Steve Rogers that made him sort of unique. First of all, he was a weak-ass bitch before he got the super soldier serum, so he was used to being a weakling. But he had, indomitable will. And so, and he always wanted to be on the side of right. That's, like, his will to survive and to be the best is a huge factor. Second of all, he was trained for a long time by the U.S. military. I think that's something people kind of forget. And he's smart as shit. Like, when he's... What?
No, I was gonna say for his training though, if you go back to that Cap 1, yes, he definitely has the army training, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But when he gets the serum in him, he's instantly Remember, like, he's running and superhuman athleticism and strength and all that instantly.
Yeah.
it wasn't like the training that made him have that.
Yeah, but
it was the serum.
Well, the serum made him.
then,
It made him faster and stronger, but I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say it made him a better fighter per se. I think that he had to do training to be a better fighter. Because yeah, I mean, you can have natural athleticism, but it doesn't fucking show you how to fight. You know, Usain Bolt probably can't throw a fucking punch. So
yeah. But I would expect to see him running.
I would at least have seen him throw an actual punch or whatever. If he throws it and he's got a limp wrist punch or whatever, then all right, this dude can't fight. But he kicked a tree, or I'm sorry, not kicked a tree, kicked a pole, stood there, waited for the caravan to come there, and just said, "Feed me these bullets." Or whatever, and I'm gonna die here, or whatever. I'm just like,
he pulled a Quicksilver.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. That I mean, maybe they'll explain it later.
Yeah,
and then
that was weird.
The part. What was the part? There was another part that in the second episode where I had major problems.
Oh, the doctor. You had issues with the doctor.
Oh yeah, the fucking Okay, so I understand that Bucky is whatever. He's got mandatory therapy and everything, and somehow he snuck upon this military mission, even though he's probably not allowed to associate with the military. But Falcon, who I guess still isn't getting paid any money, is doing these Air Force missions, and it's just like, yo, you want to come with? And Bucky just hops on the plane, and it's all cool. Nobody knows anything about it.
That would not have been cool.
And then, and then when they get back, the therapist lady is just like, yo, joint session now, you and you. And I'm just like, yo, who are you to Falcon or whatever? Like Bucky, like I understand that's part of his thing.
So,
and Falcon's like, yes, ma'am, I'm gonna do this therapy. And just like, kick rocks. Like you can't make me do. You can't make me do shit.
So when we first talked about this, we talked about her her ranking system because I was like, oh, maybe she pulled rank. But then I thought about it. So he says no at first, and she says it's not a request, and he's like, fuck. So he goes, but the thing is, if you think about it, she can make things very difficult for Bucky and Sam because she can assign an attaché or a chaperone or detain Bucky, which could fuck up everything that they're doing.
She's a therapist. She's not
she's not a sergeant. Hold on. She's a therapist, but she has her recommendations. She reports to somebody. She can be like, hey, if Bucky's regressing or he becomes a threat, guess what? You don't think she can't say something?
What's that guy do?
That fucks up Falcon's fucking situation with Bucky. She knows that they're working together. If you throw a wrench in between what they're doing, that's gonna fuck everything up.
I'll put it nice and simple for you. Yo, Kronos, if me and you are out having beers and Lilo is just like, yo, Kronos, go home now or whatever.
That ain't me.
She can't give you that order, can she?
No. Well, it's also I'll talk about it from a military perspective. All right, so from an actual military perspective, because I had a therapist when I was in the military. Actually, when I was in boot camp. Interesting. Yeah, they have they can make it so you can't do anything or kick you out of the military, right? But it's also an assigned therapist. Like some random ass therapist can't walk up to me and be like, "Hey, I need you to come into my office now." Blah blah. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, not unless somebody in my unit, assigns her to me, and there's a process to go through. But also, I mean, obviously they're stressing things for TV. I get that, but yeah, that would normally never happen unless you had some issue with your unit or what you how you conducted yourself as a active military member. There's no way that some random ass therapist from whatever branch of the military is just gonna snatch you up and be like, "We're gonna sit you down in the room and you're gonna listen to what I'm like, no." Like, I'm gonna listen to my chain of command, not you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said active because we are to assume that he's not active. So the only reason that he would even be able to pull any sort of rank is if he was active. And I'm pretty sure if you're active in the military, you're getting a check, right?
Yeah.
And so
even if you're a reservist,
rowboat.
Even if you're a reservist, you pull paychecks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got something else that kind of irked me. Maybe you guys feel differently about this one, but it's been a while since I watched it. But I could have sworn in Civil War they really explored the whole angle of additional super soldiers quite well. and they kind of did towards the end, you know, not a fake out, but like confirmation there were no other super soldiers. I'm struggling to suspend my disbelief that Steve, as crazy into following the clues and going down the rabbit holes of super soldier serum getting into the wrong hands, given Civil War, just had no knowledge of Isaiah, no clue, no hint. And then Bucky did, but never told Steve. This seems weird to me.
So this is comic accurate because Isaiah Bradley, his story is told just like they did in the comic.
I hear you, but I'm saying in terms of relative to the movies that we've all seen.
So the movies, I mean, I know like the biggest gripe is that Civil War, the film is not like in the comics, but they took Isaiah Bradley's like his storyline about no one knowing who the fuck he was for like literally decades because he was incarcerated, and him popping up later on and having his experiments fucking up his mind, and that kind of plays out in this episode. So yeah, there's things that, and what happens in the comic is Steve finds out and he tries to rectify and find out what happens, but something happens to Isaiah where they don't link up. So that's pretty comic accurate. So I don't see an issue with that there.
I mean, I feel like Steve was pretty crazy based on his actions in Civil War about finding super soldier serum and not letting that get into the wrong hands.
Yeah, but it was already in somebody's hands. I mean, obviously there was a whole bunch of shit that, you know, they've missed in comics. I mean, listen, Captain America is not a fucking super spy. You know what I mean? He's not he's not designed to like pick up secrets and shit like that. Yeah, he can do his due diligence, but at the end of the day, like the actual program that he went through was highly secretive. So, and we all know that there was the serum got out by more than just him. Isn't that? I mean, that's how we got the Red Skull, right? Because they had a fucked up version of the serum or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a few other ones as well. Thought it was pretty interesting. Another note that I will make on this is that I don't think people even understand that the person that is playing Captain America is actually a U.S. agent, who I called like right away. I was like, "That's a U.S. agent." But
oh yeah.
The funny thing is, I was talking to the comic shop that I go to, and I was like, "Are the U.S. agent sales going up for the comic books yet?" And they're like, "No." It's like they're not selling at all. I'm like, "Holy shit, are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, they're probably gonna go up like eventually when people realize, like his name is on the actual comic. It says like the guy's name, U.S. agent. Mm-hmm. That's him." So, but people didn't put two and two together yet.
Well, and also it seems like people hate him. Like so far, I mean, maybe that's going to change, but people hate this character. Yeah. Like they sent the actor a whole bunch of like really ugly, toxic ass bullshit online.
Death threats.
Yeah.
Literal death threats.
Well, I mean, I think that's how you know you. Well, when you're a villain, a true villain anyway. That's when you know you're a good actor as a villain. Is when you get like real life threats on the shit that you're pretending to play.
Yep. And he hasn't even done anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came as soon as they showed his face on the at the end of the first episode. People were like,
"Fuck his face!"
And that's not America's ass. Like they were. But
he has a punchable face.
I gotta hop out to take care of the kid. I'll be in the chat, but. I just want to say Invincible is fucking amazing. I don't think you guys have talked about it yet, so I'll be in the chat.
I'll talk
Invincible
about it.
Is so fucking good. Oh my god, highly recommend it. I've been telling people about it. And I'll probably try to hop on next week when I get some time away from my little weather witch. So see you guys. I can see you guys soon.
Thanks for joining, man.
So can we transition over to Invincible? Have you guys watched it yet?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
It's weird because I've seen the first and the third episode. I haven't seen the second.
Wait, how did you? Weird. Yeah, what the fuck?
It's a long story, but anyway, go ahead.
You have asshole roommates? Doesn't matter. You have your own shit. You can watch on your laptop. You got no excuse, bro.
Yes and no, because it's not my account. So there you go.
Oh, okay. All right, so I've been wanting to talk about this for the longest time, and I forgot. I could have talked about it on the 16th of this month. But I forgot, so sorry. Yeah, I got a chance to watch this early access like over a month ago, and I was like, holy shit! Like the first episode, it starts off as like a normal kind of coming of age, like this kid It's supposed to. He's half human, half Veltraxian.
Something like
Sure.
Something like that. It's pretty close.
Mhm.
I haven't watched the episodes recently because I watched them months ago. And basically Viltrax, I think that's the name of the planet. They're all basically like Supermen. So they're all like Clark Kent, like Kal-El, and they send out the story so far. I think it's bullshit, based upon what I've seen. Is that they send out ambassadors to planets to protect the planet. And so there's this guy named Omni-Man who's basically like Superman, who protects Earth, and there's like also like a group of superheroes that also, you know, are protecting the Earth. But he's like, Omni-Man is like the alien guy that comes down like Superman to protect the Earth. And it starts off like really good. Like it starts off, you know, like they're fighting villains and there's really good teamwork. Omni-Man is separate from this other group. I forget the name of the goddamn group. He's separate from like this team of superheroes, but he helps them when he can, but he doesn't want to join.
I think they call them Guardians,
Is
right?
it Guardians? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And his son, he has a son and a wife, and nobody knows like who the public doesn't know that he's married and has a kid. And so the son, he knows that he's supposed to get his superpowers someday, but he doesn't know when. It's supposed to be soon. He's kind of like a late bloomer. And eventually he gets superpowers where he can fly and stuff, and you know he's strong and he's fast and all that stuff. And so his dad is actually, you know, showing him, like, kind of training him a little bit on how to, you know, control his powers and shit like that. Like, oh, this is like really wholesome. Like, this is a really cool show. Like, a dad showing his son how to be a superhero. Like, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's not nothing mind blowing. You know, it's just a cool concept. Yep. And the credits roll. I'm like, all right, this is a pretty cool, pretty good start so far. Then the credits go away, and the fucking horrors begin. And I was just like, basically, somebody calls all these superheroes into like a secret base. I think it's like basically like the Batman character's base. And everybody's like, well, why are we all called here? And then everybody's like, I thought you called. And then all of a sudden, like the fast guy, he was just like, what the fuck, something's wrong. And then all of a sudden he like runs and pushes somebody out of the way, and Omni-Man like is trying to like kill them. And when I say kill them, it goes into like this fucking brutal murder scene of like where this dude just like fucking kills everybody in like horrific manners. And I was just like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Why is there so much blood? There's like fucking intestines and brain matter and fucking all kinds of shit happening. And I was like, this guy was just teaching his son how to fly, and now all of a sudden he's fucking punching holes in people's fucking faces. And I was just like, it didn't make any sense to me, like how it could go from like totally vanilla to like horrific gore in a span of like 30 seconds. So, what did you guys think?
Just to piggyback, his son's a high school student and has some dealings with bullies and all of that.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
In terms of that last scene, the other heroes fight back too.
Oh yeah.
Like it's, you know, they got superpowers. They're trying their fucking best. The speed guys punching on him, you know. There's some explosions. The water guy's trying to drown him. You know, they're trying to hold him with the Martian Manhunter guy. It doesn't work against your Omni-Man, who's basically Superman in the end. But they put up a fucking fight. Like they knock him out. He's unconscious at the end. It's not like he's just sitting around, you know, okay and fine. He's basically in a coma at the end of it. And that was a fucked up but awesome last scene. I love that.
The fucking real quick, the fast guy. His death was probably the fucking saddest and the worst, because it was like once Omni-Man gets his hands on him and he fucking like holds him up by his head and he's squeezing him and he's trying to fight back and he's punching so fast that he's literally just like punching his hands and his arms apart. Like he's leaving bruises on him, but it's like literally breaking all his bones in his arms, fighting back for his life as he's getting his head squeezed. And they're in horrific manner. They're showing this guy's fucking eyeballs pop out of his skull, and then eventually he just fucking pops him. And I was just like, dude.
Hardcore.
Actually, I don't know. Like the Aquaman, but he's a fish guy.
Yeah, he got fucked up.
He got pretty fucked up. Yeah, because they have this chick that's basically Hawk Girl with no wings, and he takes her mace and just fucking rips his fucking face apart. Like his whole head and brain matter is just like on the ground and stuff, and they literally kind of stay there for like a good 10 seconds,
Yep.
And everyone's all like, "Oh shit!" And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" And then he like, the guy that there's another guy that has flight or whatever, but he like fucks him up. But then he uses his hands and literally swipes this dude's fucking head off, like clean off. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then he breaks the neck of Hot Girl. He like literally spins her head around, and I'm like, and you see her cough up blood and shit. And I'm just like, when the scene pulls back, everyone's literally sitting or laying in a pool of blood or whatever kind of liquid. Yeah,
body parts and guts and shit. Yeah, the Batman character got fucked up too when he just grabbed him by his leg and just like popped his skull on the way down. I was just like, God damn. At least his death was quick, but I was just like, man, people got fucked up so bad.
It was all pretty bad. I mean, Hot Girl or wannabe Hot Girl, her death was pretty quick. But yeah, the Flash dude, because he was putting up a fight, but you can see his like face crush, and he's still fighting, and like his eyes like popped out, and he's still trying to fight, and it's just all bad.
And they show everything, like everything. Yes, it's like you're not prepared. Like when we say everything, like there's fucking intestines like rolling, like fucking getting strewn about. And brain matter and fucking eyeballs and teeth and ribs and shit and fucking bones. I was just like, it's like watching a DC animated like movie or the old school DC animated like shows, but with horrific violence. So you're not, for like our generation, we're not mentally prepared for shit like that. Like it's like, oh, this is like the Justice League, and then all of a sudden it's like if Superman just decided to rip somebody in half. He's like, oh, what the fuck? What happened here?
Just turned into Watchmen.
Yeah. It turned into some Ash versus Evil Dead in a lot of ways.
That too.
But yeah, really, really great pilot. No doubt about it. It sets the stage quite well. I'm still working my way. I'm at the last 10, 15 minutes of episode 2. But, you know, they definitely, I know Old Ninja hasn't seen it, so I won't spoil it too much, but they definitely touch into some alien stuff, and they bring in some additional characters, similar to like the Teen Titans in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
For better or worse. And then you do have like this world's version of a white Nick Fury almost, you know, in terms of like super spy, you know, high level super spy kind of thing that's kind of behind the scenes, but you know, we don't trust him all that much too in the mix. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. I like this world building. At first I was just like, you know, these superheroes are a whole lot like obviously Justice League, and I was like, I don't know if I care about like a fish that's basically trying to be like Aquaman. But they solved that at the end of the first episode. They were like, nah, fuck that noise. You know?
It was like Robert Kirkman was like writing the comic. He's like, you know what? These are knockoffs. Let's just fucking kill them all.
yeah, and I appreciate that. Because you know how it is. You literally see them for all of the first episode, and you're just like, okay, that's Batman, that's Martian Manhunter, you know, that's Hawkgirl. And I'm like, oh, are they going to do anything different that makes them unique? Don't matter now.
Or just a memory.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great recommendation. I'm definitely on board. I'll watch. I think they come out with 3 episodes at a time every week, or is it?
I don't know, only because like I got access to like the next. So when I got access to the show, it's only the first 3, and I just got an email like the other day where it's only episode 4. So I think after the first 3, it might be like weekly, maybe
once a week.
I don't know. I gotta look it up, but I'm pretty. It might be weekly. So
okay, all good. Yeah, I'll definitely catch up, and we could talk about it subsequent weeks and whatnot once everybody catches up. But it's good. It's very solid so far. So I'm interested. I'm on board.
For sure.
All right. Should we actually?
I mean, there's all kind of stuff.
Oh, did you want to go to you want to go to the Suicide Squad trailer?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, did everybody watch it?
Did you watch it, Kronos?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That shit with like King Shark. I was just like, I kept wondering like where you had that GIF from, or that picture from, and I was like, what is that? What? And I was like, oh shit! All right, that's pretty crazy.
King Shark stole the show for me. Like, I'm excited to see what the fuck they're going to do with him. He's like definitely a great white, and he's thick as hell and like super violent. All he does is murder. You know what I mean? It seems like he cracks some jokes too. You got Harley Quinn in there, and a few others from from the first movie, but I don't know Idris's character per se. But yeah, this looks, entertaining. It definitely looks like a hard R, and I think the first one was PG-13. But the other big thing from the trailer itself was Starro is in this shit, like in it, and I was like, oh, we're going intergalactic badass villain starfish on here. Oh, okay, I'm with it. This is gonna be wild. What y'all think?
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be wild. It's funny to me because a lot of the squad is like C-listers and D-listers because they got like Polka Dot Man and shit.
Oh yeah,
they're supposed to be.
And it's, yeah,
that's the point of Suicide.
I mean, I guess because there's the Thinker, and like if you're watching CW Thinker, he was actually a force you reckon with. But this Thinker, he looks like he's like confused or maybe on drugs or something because they're trying to suppress him or whatnot. And there's definitely a lot more villains than there were in the first one. A lot more. So we'll see. I figured they put all these people in because they're probably going to die probably pretty quick or whatnot. But, we see Captain Boomerang again. We see John Cena as some wannabe, like, I forget the name of his character, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Peace. I'm pretty sure he's Peacemaker. I only know that because I just read the. Hold on, give me a second. The Suicide Squad, Infinite Frontier. There you go. I read this the other day. So
yeah, that looks like him on the cover.
He's on the cover. Yeah.
So yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see. I expect this to be very bloody and probably pretty funny, a la James Gunn's Guardians kind of. I hope he doesn't try to copy Guardians and make this like basically DC's Guardians, because Suicide Squad is different from Guardians, so we'll see. But
I hope so too, but I don't think so in terms of like the feel for this. I think at least a third or a quarter of the cast, I think, is going to truly die one way or another of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I mean,
I suspect that.
Well, what's interesting, it's DC can use they can use this franchise, Suicide Squad, as like an opportunity to kind of like just fuck around with, have like a cool like little sandbox of like interesting kind of throwaway characters, because that's what the Suicide Squad is that you just have these characters like Calendar Man and shit like that, like ones that are kind of like throwaway characters that you can mess with for an entire movie, and if they die, who cares? You can have fun with it. So I think it's kind of cool. I'll probably watch it. I think that Starro being in it is going to be. Maybe that's the reason why they need to have the Suicide Squad, because the Starro's taken over some of the heroes. But we'll see. So well, it's kind of weird, like Will Smith, I guess, not being in it, but I guess it doesn't really need to be. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, they got Viola back. I felt like she got, I don't know, kind of shortchanged. She had a couple scenes in the first one, but I was like, I want more Waller. Like, Waller is supposed to be, like, really the head bitch in charge in a lot of ways in terms of the Suicide Squad, and she should have a lot of screen time, and at least in my opinion, not with the action, but with the whole, like, threat of death, you know what I mean? And Waller being in your ear, like, I'm going to kill you if you don't complete this mission. You have a bomb in your head. Waller should be intimidating.
Yeah, she should be more of an asshole, honestly, in the movie. She really should.
But we also got Flag. Flag is back. So
Flag is always he's the constant with the Suicide Squad usually. Even in this one, like Flag is still there, but he gets taken out. So not killed, but he gets taken out like in the first issue. So I was like, okay, so Waller is just fucking wilding out. She's just fuck it.
That's what I like. Like, Waller should be diabolical, like, a queen in charge, basically, and, you should never be able to predict what the fuck she's going to do next with these guys, because they're all expendable, so...
Yeah, and I love the fact that she will basically, by any means necessary, will she get the job done. Like, she's like the perfect, like, anti-hero character, because obviously she's doing it to save humanity, but it's also like some of the shit that she does is just like you're kind of losing your humanity while you're doing this, so maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last one, she murdered her staff.
Absolutely.
Like, she's like trying to leave. She's like, hold up. I gotta take care of something. Pop, 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 pop. All right, now we can go. I was like, God dang. That's
Yeah, more of that. More of that for certain, goddammit. So there was some big news. San Diego Comic-Con has officially stated that they're going to have some in-person con Thanksgiving fucking weekend in San Diego. I thought this was fucking huge news. Kronos' brother, the captain, who's been on here before, kind of hit us up, not in the DMs, but maybe a text or whatever, and then I got an email from them, and I was like, okay, more news to come. Are y'all excited about this? What do you think?
Go ahead, on Ninja.
I was going to say yes and no, because I feel like Thanksgiving is a bad time to be like traveling out to San Diego, especially if you're on the East Coast or whatnot. Because normally I view Thanksgiving as a huge family time, even though I know there are some people who do not celebrate Thanksgiving, so that's on them. So I think it's maybe a little too close to the holidays, because Christmas is like right around the corner right after. So I mean, it's good that we're getting a con back, but I don't know. We'll see.
Actually, I think it's perfect, to be honest with you. All right, so hear me out. All right, so Comic-Con usually, like the Thursday night, they're obviously not going to have Comic-Con on Thanksgiving Day. It's Thursday, right?
Yep.
They shouldn't anyway. It should start on a Friday. And so if you want to, spend time with your family for Thanksgiving, you can. You have that Thursday. Fly out, Thursday night or Friday morning to Comic-Con. You have the fucking weekend off anyway. It's perfect.
Yes.
Like, you already have the day off, so why not go to Comic-Con and do it? Those are my thoughts on it, and I think people are looking forward to getting a con back. The fact that one of the biggest cons, if not the biggest con in the country, is one of the first to say that, hey, we're coming back, and this is the date. And to me, it's a safe date. Obviously, if coronavirus surges again, which it could, you never know. I mean, people aren't not everybody's taking the vaccines because they think they're invincible for some reason. If it comes back, I think they'll change it again. But as of right now, if things stay constant and we stay on the decline, more folks get vaccinated, I think it's a great idea to bring it back. Some of us will likely be there. I'll probably be there anyway just for my brother to enjoy Thanksgiving with him. Because I know we try to trade off who goes to Comic-Con, and me and Blue went last time, so I think it's you, one of the other three guys to go.
No, it was you and me. We went last
that's right.
time,
it was you and
then
me. Yeah.
Blue went to you the time before. The one person who was knocked on is Stitch. Stitch has yet to go. Yeah,
so I'm down to go and at least be in the area if I can't go. But if I can go, maybe I'll buy tickets. I don't, show. Actually, no. K-Mac will freak the fuck out. She won't be able to go. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of logistics to still get worked out and shit. But even if it's like 3/4 of like the normal attendees, that's a huge win for San Diego, for the convention center, for geek culture. There's going to be some premieres. There's going to be some panels that are interesting. Some giveaways, some swag, all of that good stuff. Man, I'm excited. I can't help but be fucking excited, man. I hope that, the virus doesn't get in the fucking way. I hope that they can get it all coordinated because, I know it sounds like it's a far, many months away, but that it'll be here before you fucking know it. But I agree with Kronos in terms of the timing. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're really not doing anything but eating leftovers, and then some people participate in that crazy madness of Black Friday. Some people do it online. Some people do it in person. This is a much better use of most of your time, in terms of having some fun and being part of one of the biggest fucking cons in the world. I'm excited, man. This should be cool. I'm going to try to take advantage. Once it becomes available, maybe, fingers crossed, we can get a goddamn panel up in that motherfucker. Let's see.
That would be great. We'll have to think about our next panel topic. We have ideas, so we'll do something cool.
Oh, yeah.
And get it.
We got plenty of shit. Did you see Attack on Titan?
Oh, yes. Shit. No, I did not. Go ahead, talk about it. I'm going to step away for a second.
Well,
I can't hear
just
this.
At a quick high, even you can say for this part, at a quick high level, we thought that, they kind of did a fake out. We thought that this was going to be the finale, but it's a two-parter, so it's not the end.
But the problem is the two-parter won't be for basically another fucking year. So we're not going to see anything until 2022.
I thought it was winter this year. Am I wrong?
Winter of 2022. Not winter of 2021. Winter of 2022.
Damn.
Okay.
And this was announced officially on Funimation's website.
Damn.
So that's almost a whole fucking year. So
you'll wait.
And we waited before, so I guess. But I guess they want more time for the manga to finish. Or the manga to finish?
Oh, yeah, they don't want to...
yeah.
I talk about it all the time. I'll bring it up again. You don't want to pull a fucking Rurouni Kenshin and destroy your entire franchise because you decided to go ahead of the manga. So, yeah, definitely wait for the manga to finish, however long that takes, and then finish the actual anime.
Yeah, so I guess the writers and the animation side and the manga side are working together to make sure not to fuck people over. And I was just reading the other day that they are, if anyone was trying to post spoilers, they're going to try to like take action against whoever posted. So,
oh yeah, that's serious shit, man. Fuck them people.
So I'm like, damn, that's what that. But go ahead, talk about the episode. I'll be back.
Go ahead, Curtis. You want to set it up?
I'm trying to think about this episode. This is the one where Zeke basically committed suicide, right? The episode before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they show like his remains of his body. I mean, he's still alive, I think, because like the upper half of his body was still there. He has no arms. He has no lower torso. Obviously, that includes his legs. He basically he's a rib cage and a head, and some nubs.
And it was semi-death by suicide, but semi-death by Captain Levy, Levy or whatever.
Well, yeah. So basically, he put a thunder. What do they call it? Thunder stick, thunder whatever.
Yeah.
In his side. And he attached the actual ignition mechanism to the head of Zeke. So if he moved around too much, it would pop off the fucking ignition mechanism in this Thunderbolt thing, and it would blow up Zeke. And so Zeke was just like, well, fuck, because fucking Levi kept cutting off the legs of Zeke, so he couldn't turn into a Titan. And so that was a solution. Like, if he does mess up and he does turn into a Titan, obviously it would change the his mass, and then it would pop the thing off, and he would just blow up. Well, Zeke was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna blow myself up. So he blew himself up, and Levi, which I think Levi is okay. I'm pretty sure he's okay. He got. They didn't really show up in this episode at all. So at the beginning of the episode, they just basically showed Zeke all fucked up. And then some crazy rando Titan ran up to him, tore its guts open, and shoved Zeke inside to make sure that he was safe. And then they started talking about the consequences of drinking that guy's spinal fluid. So you take over the rest.
Shit, man. I'm sorry. It's been a few days since I've seen it, but yeah. I didn't quite get the whole aspect of the spinal fluid because I know he put it in the wine, but like. The dangers of it, I'm sorry, I wasn't quite on board with what that does other than the Titan stuff. Go ahead.
So he can control people on some level and turn them into Titans if they drink his spinal fluid. So remember...
Okay.
Yeah, so remember in like the very first episode of this season how like they were like mass dropping people?
Yeah.
They had his spinal fluid, and then like on command, it would change them into Titans, like the mindless Titans.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
how he got
they bombarded that one city.
Yeah, and so what he did was he put a bunch of his spinal fluid in a whole bunch of wine, and he fed that wine to all the higher ups that were in the military for Paradise, and then also some of like just the basic soldiers. Almost all the soldiers that were watching him, except for Levi, drank some of that wine, and so that's how he got away because when he decided he was finished, he just walked away, or he ran away, and then Levi tried to chase after him, and that's when he triggered, like, hey, turn to Titans now. And so Levi had to go back and just murder all his friends, and he didn't give a fuck. He just cut them all down.
Levi is so fucking badass, goddammit. Like, he's like a fucking... You talk about some super soldier serum. Like, he is able to do... It seems like the fucking impossible. He doesn't seem anywhere close to human. You know what I mean? In terms of his abilities and whatnot. These are basically his... You talk about brothers in arms. Like, these are folks who are in his platoon. You know what I mean? And he's he's bonded with them for a long time, but he's led them. You know what I mean? Like, he's been the true captain. And then to have to kill them all, I was like, what the fuck? But no, he's just covered in blood. He's coming down. He's just like, I'm going to get my fucking revenge on Zeke. He never liked Zeke. He never trusted Zeke. Nope. He never gave a fuck about him. I just love that aspect of him because he's just like singularly focused on the fact that he hates this motherfucker and doesn't trust him for shit. And he's telling him, I'm going to be the one that's going to kill you, not anybody else. And it seems like Zeke was self-aware enough to be intimidated by him, or at least a plan for Levi a little bit, but you can't plan for a hurricane like fucking Levi.
Yeah, he just fucks everything up. Like, he's basically a monster. What's interesting to me is that in the last episode, not the one we just watched, but the one before that, when Aaron broke down the Ackermans, I think that there's something unique about Levi, where there's like a trigger that's supposed to happen with the Ackermans, where they're supposed to protect somebody.
Yeah.
And so
with Mikasa, we saw that, right?
Yeah, with Mikasa, she's supposed to protect Eren, like no matter the cost, and it's subconscious. But I think that with Levi, actually, wasn't he like adopted or some shit?
He might have
maybe
been.
That's why.
I'm fuzzy on that.
Maybe he was I can't remember. Maybe he was adopted, but if he wasn't, maybe he was told to protect himself or something like that, and that's the reason why he's so fucking badass and why he can't fucking die. It's because he protects himself like at all costs. But yeah, there's definitely like a gene in there, and Aaron proved it like in the last episode, where he's just like, yeah, like you're supposed to protect me, and that's the reason why you like that today. I don't really care about you. And then
go ahead.
Well, when that dude tried to punch him, and then subconsciously, like, all of a sudden Mikasa just protected him, like stopped the guy from punching him, and she was just like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah. Well, and we also get an aspect of Levi was talking about, like, reminiscing about how many times he's actually protected Eren. You know what I mean? He was just like, this is dozens of times or almost hundreds of times or whatever. Yeah. So I'm with you. I think there's something fucking there. You know what I mean? At a genetic level, because he doesn't behave like anybody else on the fucking show. He's just that OP. We'll fucking see, man. I can't wait, I guess, till 2022, but we're gonna fucking have to. But I love this show. I love it all the way around, man.
Yeah, I love the way, like, the direction that went with it. So, like, basically they're really blurring the lines between, like, terrorists and freedom fighters in this season. It's just like, yeah, one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. So, and the fact that, Aaron's basically trying to, for what we are led to believe, is that Eren and Zeke, they're trying to end all the Eldians, so there's going to be no more Titans. So he's going to make it so that he's going to sterilize basically everybody.
Definitely the case. And I will say this, not that I feel a whole lot of sympathy for Zeke, because I still hate that motherfucker, but you do get some backstory with him, like with the whole baseball stuff, and you know where that came from, how his family was treated when he was a little boy and whatnot. And they definitely have some really overt allusions to basically the Holocaust as well. You know what I mean? You got the whole symbol on them, the armbands. Because of their race, they are treated like subhumans. You know what I mean? And they're no matter where they grow up, they're treated as evil. And we know that's wrong. We know that's fucked up. We know that it's playing on some like World War I kind of aspect of technology in a lot of ways. But it's weird because for certain kingdoms or whatever, they're super advanced from a military standpoint and a technology standpoint, and then we know in Paradise, because they've been closed off, they weren't aware of a whole lot of fucking tech. And so when that one ambassador from Japan comes through, there's slowly more awareness on some things with the outside world and tech.
Actually, no, it's the other way. It's kind of the other way around. It's different kinds of tech. So when they came to Paradise, they had no idea that there was anti-Titan technology. Remember?
Okay.
And so when they gave that lady from Japan like that their ODM gear, they're like, well, you need a special kind of like crystal to like use this, but I'll give this to you, but you need a special thing that can only be mined at Paradise. So yes, Paradise is not. They're not geared for war against humans, but they were geared for war against Titans. However, once they figured out they had to go to war against humans, when they had like the other Ackerman guy, they quickly adapted to like using guns. And so that's why when they went to Marley, they were just wholesale murdering motherfuckers because they were like they had ODM gear plus guns and fucking swords to protect them against Titans, and the Titans were unprepared. They feared people in, ODM gear. They were just like, why am I scared when I'm a Titan? But there's a swarm of these humans that are coming to fuck me up. So I thought that was an interesting thing.
Plus, they're shooting those rocket spears like they are fucking bullets or like they're javelins or something. They're just expert marksmen with all of that fucking shit. So, goddamn. And we didn't even talk about the whole fact with Gabby and is it Falco?
Yeah.
In the restaurant and shit, where Falco gets knocked out by the other the cook that used to cook for Potato Girl.
Well, because they killed Sasha. I mean, Gabby killed Sasha. So.
Yep.
Gabby keeps getting let off the hook, but yeah, she did some fucked up shit. But I'm kind of glad that they're not killing her, but at the same time, it's like I'm surprised they didn't kill her. They're trying to break the cycle, and I get that. So.
But she's making it so fucking hard for them every goddamn time because she's so hell bent on murdering the devils. You know?
But I think she's opening up now to seeing like, hey, like they're not lying to me. Like she's starting to see. Anyway, Ned, you can put your headset back on if you can hear me. I think we're done with Attack on Titan.
You see the motion? Yeah, he'll figure it out. We got. Well, actually, I think it debuted tonight, Zilla vs. Kong, right? We're just going to wait for next week.
I will watch it. I'll be right back.
Oh, y'all are done talking about that?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I was mentioning Godzilla vs. Kong is tonight, but obviously everybody's talking about it.
Well, a lot of people have already seen it. It launched at midnight. So, I mean, people are partially spoiling it. I mean, I've heard the partial spoilers, so... But I still want to see it. I was trying to get ahead of the curve, but I was really tired, so it's all good. But I'm watching it literally right after the cast.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it tomorrow, or I might start a little bit of it late night tonight. We'll fucking see.
Yeah, as soon as the cast is done, that's going straight up on the screen, watching this bad bitch. Because tomorrow I gotta, I watch Falcon and Winter Soldier when it drops on the West Coast at 12:01 or whatever. I don't know if it's like late for everybody else, or if it drops midnight for each time zone. Who knows? But when it drops at 12:01, I'm watching it. I almost did the same thing with Godzilla, but I'm gonna watch it tonight for sure. Guarantee.
Good fucking shit. Did we want to touch upon? Well, I guess Rick and Morty's coming back. We know that for certain.
Oh yeah,
is what it is.
It's coming out in June. But what did you think of the trailer? Like the fuck?
I mean, look, it's Rick and Morty. I'm already sold. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, but it looks like we're getting probably the same amount of episodes, maybe more. I mean, we'll see. I know that there's a Voltron episode again. I know there was a Voltron reference before in season 3, but we're getting an actual episode where they're all in Voltron gear. They're doing the old school hanging on the little zip line and dropping into their respective ships and shit, flat out all about Voltron type shit. I can't wait.
I'm fucking down, man. I'll always miss this show, but I'm a patient fan. I'm not one of these assholes that's gonna harass them online talking about, I need my shit. Nah, do your shit. We'll wait patiently, but it's highly anticipated. We'll fucking see. I'm just amazed that studios can still produce high quality animated content, given the past fucking year that we goddamn had, especially all remotely and shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing that kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure it was harder for them because they couldn't be in the studio, use the tools that they needed, but, they managed to get it done. I'm pretty sure they just took their workstations home or were able to transfer and do file sharing stuff and work at home and then put it all together, so.
Yeah. I will say, just switching gears a little bit, there is one other series, animated series that I want to recommend. On Netflix, they have DOTA, Dragon's Blood, which is... Go ahead.
I was gonna no, go ahead. I have a question for you at the end for this. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is I didn't play the video game, but it's based on a pretty popular game from Valve. I think it's an RPG, I believe, and mostly played on the PC. I don't think it's on consoles, but I could be wrong on that. But in any event, if you like Voltron or Kipo or even Boondocks, it's the same studio, Studio Mirror. And literally, I swear to God, the main character, what's his fucking name? Davido? Davion, I'm sorry. He looks dead on like the guy from Voltron, not Keith, but the first Black Lion.
Oh, Shiro.
Shiro. He looks dead on like him. But this shit is medieval fucking bloody. I know we talked about Invincible and that bloodiness and violent guts and shit. You're going to see some of that in this series, only they're going to do that with a whole lot of dragons right off the fucking bat. But it feels like some Witcher shit with dragons, but reminiscent of Castlevania and Voltron animation. Go ahead. What was your question?
You already answered my question. My question was this based off the game?
Yeah.
I've never played the game because I know. So I think the game is a I don't know if it's by Valve or something, but I know that. Well, I know Dota 2. Dota 2 was like basically kind of like a spin-off or something. It's like a user-defined game or something. So I don't think there's an official.
I was wrong. Dota 2 is a MOBA. So
yeah.
Let me correct that.
So I'm just like, I've never played the game. I know it's supposed to be like more people prefer that over World of Warcraft, I guess.
I don't know about more. WoW is pretty huge. I don't know about
WoW
more.
Huge, but Dota's kind of up there as well. So, I mean, if you go to any college campus, they're talking about Dota versus World of Warcraft. And more people are, at least on a lot of college campuses across the U.S.,
the different kinds of games
playing
though.
Dota.
I mean, Dota's not.
It is.
It's not an MMO.
Yeah, it's a MOBA.
Yeah, it's a MOBA. Which kind of close.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I know someone that finished this in a day. So apparently
it's an easy watch.
Yeah. It's only, 8 episodes or something like that?
Yeah, 8 30-minute episodes. Like I said, I finished like 3 or 4 2 nights ago, and the only reason why I didn't finish it off last time is because I wanted to watch some Invincible. But it's fucking solid, man. I fucking dig it. They got cool elf characters. They got a dragon slayer. They got dragons and demons doing all kinds of real evil fucked up shit. There's some orgies, I'm all about it.
You have me at orgies.
Yeah, I think you'll dig this. I think you'll dig this one. Especially, I mean, if you like violent, adult-themed animation, even if you're not familiar with the game, like I'm not familiar with the game, I think you'll fucking dig it. It's a winner. But I haven't finished it quite yet. So if the last 3 or 4 episodes suck, I'll let you know next week. All right.
What else we got here?
Do we have anything else? Did we want to talk about that Zola story?
We should, because we talked about it on the cat. We went extensive, a couple years ago on this, because this shit was crazy. It was crazy. Crazy shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're all trying to... The validity. So, did y'all see the trailer?
Yes, I did.
Woo, boy. Man, this looks just as insane as the Twitter story. So, those of you who don't know, the Zola story, you can actually probably find it. I think the story has been taken off of Twitter, but you can still find it. If you look up #Zola, you'll find all the tweets in chronological order. It basically tells the weekend of strippers in Florida and this crazy weekend that they have. And a lot of people were saying that this was fake, and someone just made some kind of some story and turned it into Twitter post, but then people started corroborating the story. They're saying, hey, here's a news clipping of this happening around the time that this person told us events. There's other people who claim to be witnesses about this, so it's super weird and crazy, and now it's a movie. And there's a trailer out right now that looks just as fucked up.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. They dropped the trailer, I think a year after. Apparently. Oh, this is a different one. No, this is it. I guess the release date, it came out in Sundance last year. That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Hold on, this can't be right. Give me the fuck out of here. Yeah, this is a fuck. No, this is the film.
Okay.
It said that. Okay, so it had its world premiere at Sundance Film Festival, January 24th of 2020.
Oh, so that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah, but it's a Sundance film, so. But the Zolo story is back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Because I know that Ava DuVernay, I think, was trying to get involved because she was interested in the story because she tweeted about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, she was talking about developing it. I don't know who developed this version of the film, but there was a lot of people. This was all like celebrities were chiming in on this. People were trying to corroborate. It was a crazy, crazy story.
I hope the original woman who posted it got some serious coin for the fucking screenplay or whatever, because this was an early, like, I guess 2015 viral fucking series of tweets. Everybody was talking about this. I know we did a whole episode. We'll have to rewind the tape on that episode because I'm fuzzy on some of them details after the years, but this was a wild ass story. It was the dankest story on Twitter I had ever fucking heard.
I'm pretty sure the Zolo story was nominated for a Golden Eggplant.
Probably was, yeah. So I'm excited. I want to see it. You know what I mean? Especially if it's done well with real actors and shit. Let's fucking go. You know, the trailer looks good. I'm fucking down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks crazy. It looks like independent crazy. I guess if you've ever seen what was that? What's the J-Lo movie about stripping? Hustlers, I believe. I think that was it. This is like an indie version of Hustlers, I guess.
Okay. Good shit.
So I'm interested in seeing this. I want to see how this plays out.
Kronos is going down the Batcave into full research on this.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
I was trying to see what happened to her. Like, what is she doing now? Yeah.
Hopefully she's safe.
Her name is.
Money.
Hope I'm saying her name right. I believe her name is Isaiah Wells. Is her name.
Okay.
But goes by Isaiah King. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, did she get paid? Because I hope she got paid.
Get your money, girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, do we have any B&Bs for this week?
Mm-hmm.
You can do some double checking on that.
Yeah, I can check really quickly because
Yeah,
someone had one last week and we almost missed it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see any, but it is what it is. We'll fucking see.
Did y'all see the Spiral trailer?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I'm already sold. I mean, I'm a huge fucking Saw movie fan, so I've seen every single one of them. I'm not going to miss a Saw movie. This is in the Saw universe, but it has Chris Rock in it, so I'm down to already see it. I don't want to be spoiled too much.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer showed. Ooh, it looked crazy. You have Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson's always said he wanted to be in a horror movie, and this looks like the perfect property for him.
Well, in the very first one, people forget Danny Glover was in the first one for Saw, so it's had some respectable actors in there and whatnot.
Yeah, well, same with Carrie Elwes. I mean, he's in Princess Bride, and he's still, doing movies and stuff. He's been in a bunch of stuff, so.
Yeah, and the movies make a fucking shit ton of money. They're dirt cheap to make. So if they gross over $100 million in their entire box office run, that's all fucking gravy. You know what I mean? And most of these movies will do 300, 400, 500 million worldwide, which doesn't sound like a whole lot compared to like MCU numbers and Avengers movies and shit. But when they're like, $20 million to make, that's fucking great, like, for the studio. So yeah, they're gonna keep on making these things. And it's been a few years since they've done it.
Well, here's the BTI. This is from Victor, our boy Victor VZA. Definitely check out his channel, VZA on YouTube. He has some pretty dope videos on artistry. He's a good dude too. He asked, how much does DC pay Prodigy to bash all of Marvel's products?
This motherfucker.
Inquiring minds must know.
Yeah, so this is the reference to Cthulhu Prodigy's tweet where he says, quote, I still don't know anything about Eternals, but I'm sure y'all will hype it up as the greatest of all time in a few months.
Yeah, here's the thing. I like Falcon and Winter Soldier. We just got done talking about that. Loved pretty much all, except for I was a little lukewarm on the Ultron movie, but I like the Avengers movies. Loved Black Panther. You know what I mean? Loved Winter Soldier. Loved the first Guardians movie.
But shit all over Captain Marvel, shitting all over Black Widow. First it went from nobody needs this Black Widow movie, nobody wants a Black Widow movie, to I don't want to see a Passing of the Mantle movie.
Well, here's the thing. In terms of my interest in it, yeah, it certainly waned. Now, if we talked about Black Widow after Iron Man 2 or after Winter Soldier, I think they waited way too long. I just personally fucking do. Now, if it's good, it's good, but I think they waited way too fucking long, and in-game showed a death. So, you know, I think it's very logical that they're going to do some kind of passing on to someone in the greater Black Widow family, rather than have, like they did with Thor, like they did with Cap, like they did with Tony, like they're doing with Spidey, you know, a trilogy movie for that character, like they're doing with Ant-Man. So, you know, it's kind of a weird way of doing it. We've seen the model already work in terms of solo films, but I don't think that that's what they're going for based on Endgame and whatnot, and based on them showing a family of it. So, and the movie's been in the can since, I don't know, late 2019, you know? So it's a little old. It's not their fault. We had a pandemic. It is what it is. But I don't have to be interested in every single project. I was actually I was pleasantly surprised with when I saw it later on with Ant-Man and Wasp. It was an okay movie, you know? Yeah. But I didn't feel the Spidey movies. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, there's a difference between not having an interest versus shitting on it outright before you see a trailer, before you see promotional items. That's totally different. And you've done that on numerous occasions.
Like you just did.
I've certainly shit on. Everybody on this show has shit on some stuff.
Oh,
yeah. Before anything. You shit on it when it's casted.
But hold on. Did I or did I not, after seeing it shit all over Birds of Prey last year? I nominated it for a rotten eggplant. I said Kathy Yan is one of the worst. I completely shitted on that movie. I did. I was excited about it.
It's because you hate women. That's the thing.
It's got Ewan McGregor in it, and I liked fucking Harley Quinn or whatever. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, nah, this is fucking terrible. I shit all over that one.
So that's a ratio. That's still like a terrible ratio. You're looking at a 4-to-1 ratio.
I didn't love Hold on, wait. I didn't love Suicide Squad. You know, the very first one. I didn't love that one. I'm not raving about Suicide Squad. I didn't love the first theatrical Justice League. You don't hear me talking about that as being some pinnacle of fucking comic book movie. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not comparing them per franchise. I'm talking about individual movies that you basically just shit on.
There's some movies I don't personally like. Everybody has individual takes on movies.
Usually
there's some that I don't get down with. I just don't.
So there's a difference in not getting down with it versus shitting on it when a movie's being fucking cast. Or if you don't like the movie, why even say anything about it at all? But you want to go on shit post after shit post before you even see anything about a film, whether it's DC or Marvel. And that's why VZA is asking, at least on this part.
Okay, so if this is in response to Eternals, just to rewind a little bit, I don't have much interest in Eternals. I haven't seen much about it.
Well, you also don't
I know a little bit about the cast. I don't have much interest in it. Well, I just don't.
Hold on, real quick.
I can do a 180 on that.
You also don't know anything about the Eternals, right? So that's probably another reason why there's no interest.
What I'm telling you is I don't even have interest in learning about them. And I'm someone who reads comics. I don't have an interest right now. I didn't have an interest in Guardians, but I ended up liking the movie. And I didn't know much about the Guardians and watched the movie. We'll see.
So,
but Marvel hasn't given us much on Eternals.
Yeah, well, they have in the past. You just haven't read the comics, which is fine. You can't.
No. I'm talking about they haven't given us much for the movie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, the movies that you like, you know, you read the comics. You know, you had interest in them before.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying like traditionally, like all these Marvel movies that came out, not all of them, but a lot of them, you read the comics before the movie came out, so you had some, at least some interest from like a basic standpoint, like Spider-Man, for instance. Like when movies first started coming out, you obviously know of Spider-Man, so you're interested in the movie. Same thing of like the Avengers. You know of the Avengers, you read the comics, so you're interested in seeing the Avengers. With the Eternals, I don't think you know anything about them like at all, and most people don't, which is fine. Just like Guardians of the Galaxy, like you said. But I think that what they should be doing to hype up the movie, there is a link between the Eternals and Thanos that they haven't really talked about like at all with like the build. Obviously, there's been no real marketing for the movie yet, but there is a solid link between the Eternals and Thanos. Thanos literally is part of the Eternals. He's a Titan, but the Titans come from the Eternals because his dad is an Eternal, and he decided to go to Titan and create his own like little thing. So I think that you could be more interested than you think you would be if you knew about the comics, which I'm reading up on now. The new Eternals comic, that there's a new run that came out that shows a link between Thanos and the Eternals. They have like a really interesting sort of like superhero-ish type deal. They're different from. They're almost on like sort of the Celestial levels, but like light in the comic book.
Yeah.
In the comic book. So for me, there's interest there because I love the way that Marvel does like their whole cosmic thing with Thanos and the Celestials and like all these other like cosmic beings, and I lump the Eternals in with that. So yeah.
There's certain cosmic characters that I do love. Silver Surfer is definitely one of them. You know. Obviously, Thanos and Galactus are certainly in the mix.
Oh, things that you read. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. I have never been a reader of Captain America, and I liked all the Captain America movies. I knew of him, there's no doubt about it, but I've never read, like, solo Captain America books from when I was little, even to the day. I don't read Cap, for the most part.
But you knew of him. Like, I'm pretty sure you never even heard of the Eternals before the movie was announced, right?
No, I have heard of them. I have heard of them. But I just, they don't quite interest me. And, you know, we will see when they start pumping up the fucking movie. But, you know, I'm also not one to be just like, because it's an MCU movie, sight unseen, no trailer, anything, this is going to be the greatest thing ever either. So we'll see.
You don't have to, but you do the complete opposite. That's my point. You start fucking dumping the huge fucking... Do you
have a quote of me shitting on the Eternals?
So I have a...
Because I don't remember that.
I have a partial where you reinforce someone else shitting on the Eternals. I put it that way.
I mean,
that's shitting on it, Jason, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, but you like you have in the past. You shat on Captain Marvel before you even saw anything. You shat on Black Widow, and it's not even out. So you've done that shit in the past.
Hold on one second, though.
So we all do.
I'm going to repeat this for Black Widow. I had much more, and I think everybody on this cast has said very similar things. Had much more interest after Winter Soldier and after Iron Man 2. Some of my interest in the character from a solo movie standpoint waned after 10 fucking years. Well, I don't know how that's unfair.
No, I mean, well, I think it's also that me and Old Ninja, we both got to watch like more of an extended view of Black Widow, and it looked pretty good, to be honest. I was very surprised on what I saw. But that was like fucking 2 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Going on 3 years. I mean, we saw them in 2019.
that would be 2 years.
About to be
math.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm thinking 2018 even further back, but yeah, no, 2019. I mean, it'll be a full 2 years in July.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll just say this: I shit on Theatrical Justice League quite a bit, and
but
I like. Well, hold on.
You saw it.
Hold on. I shit on it because it wasn't that great, and then I didn't have any expectations for the Snyder one, and then liked that one. So who knows what'll happen when Eternals fucking drops, or when Black Widow fucking drops? You know. But I'm liking Falcon despite some of my small issues with it. I mean, Stitch alluded to a few, but like that Super Soldier stuff is, I don't know about that one. They got some explaining to do.
Yeah, well, there's not a whole lot of episodes left. We're about to hit the halfway mark this week.
Oh, it's only 6 episodes, huh?
Yeah, it's only 6.
I can understand because their budget is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like movie level budget. I mean, they're spending a lot of fucking money on this show.
I'll give them that, yeah, for certain.
All
right, guys. Let's wrap it on up. Old Ninja, what you got popping this week?
So right after this fucking cast, I am watching fucking Godzilla beat a fucking monkey to death.
There we go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, just like Matt said, we know that they're going to fight. There's probably going to be some third monster or third entity or whatever that comes in. I don't care. I'm still watching this. I'm hoping to see good fight scenes. I'm hoping the humans are smarter than they were in Godzilla King of All Monsters, because they were fucking retarded in that film. So I'm hoping they're at least thinking in this movie. I have it with me. I'm not going to pull it out, but the final book of the Alphabet Squadron for Star Wars came out on the 7th, but I just picked it up. So I'm planning on trying to work my way through those. There's going to be some new High Republic comics, I believe, coming out early next week. I think next Tuesday. So one of the variant comics will probably fetch for a lot. I'm gonna try to see if I can get my hands on it before the price blows up, because one of the artwork on it looks fucking amazing. You have like a Jedi riding a Rancor, which is one of the variants. So I suspect that's gonna be really high. Definitely watching some Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Looking forward to finishing some Invincible. So I'm gonna try to watch that middle episode and then catch the new episode this week, hopefully. And then the weather's been nice in the Bay, so I'm probably going to have a beach day again, probably on Friday. Check out some of the microbreweries that are out there, because there's one in Half Moon Bay that's actually really nice. They actually serve decent food, because we're opening up a lot more here in California. So going to take advantage of some sun and some food. Yeah,
good shit. Carlos, what you got?
All right, I got my second dose of the vaccine last week. Did I talk about it last week?
I think you got it after the cast, no?
I did, yeah, because I got it last Friday. So yeah, it went by just fine. I had an immune response, just for total transparency, because people are hesitant to get the vaccine, so they think it's going to give you 5G or some shit. You're stupid if you think that. Anyway, it was a joke. Not you being stupid. That's definitely, if you think it gives you 5G, you're a fucking moron. Anyway, I did get an immune response. I was a little tired. I had some body aches. Wasn't bad. Then the day afterwards, the lymph node in my left armpit, which is the side that I got the shot on, swelled the fuck up, and it was tender. But it wasn't gigantic. It was just like, I could tell it was swollen. I thought I just slept on my my bed wrong, and then I touched my armpit. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, something's wrong here. And it's a normal thing that can happen, because obviously it's my body responding to the other mRNA spike proteins. So my body was like, hey, attack these things, fuck them. So I thought it was good to get the response. I feel fine. Didn't stop me from working out or anything. All my symptoms that I had from the vaccine last Friday are gone now, so I'm feeling fine. Another thing is Balance Exchange. We're going to wrap up season 2 in about 2 weeks. The last episode, 2 episodes ago, was about regulation and deregulation. And the last one we just recorded was about U.S. social programs and breaking down socialism and communism, because I think that most people don't know what the fuck those two things mean, and the usefulness of having social programs in America. So yeah, they're good educational. It's not like this podcast. All right, it's basically educational shit. So if you don't want to get educated on anything, just don't fucking listen to it, because
it's like a TED Talk. BTI's TED Talk.
It is kind of like a TED Talk with me and a guy that should probably run for president when he gets a little older. So yeah, Dan's a good dude. Papa Bear. That's all I got.
Good shit. For me, I am. I finished off. Just one quick shout out. I finished off fucking Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. Goddamn, excellent shonen. Definitely fucking watch that. Shout out to Pirate Queen Jin. She kept stressing that I watched this one, and I fucking finished it off last week, and I can't get over some of these fucking characters. I won't spoil it. It does, for me, feel like it's right on that level of Demon Slayer. I know that's high praise. I stand by those words. It's up there. Definitely watching a little bit more Invincible. I got less than a month until my big titty vampy queen Resident Evil Village drops out. I think that actually a little over a month, May 7th, I believe. So I'm going to try to play through some of the DLCs for Resident Evil 7, because that's in first person as well.
It was free, right? It was free on PSN, I think, for a second.
Yeah, but I don't think it included the DLC. I'll double check that. So if not, I'll just fucking buy them, man.
Yeah, because like if you waited too long, you're gonna have to buy them.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll gladly pay for it. That was one of those surprise games I played towards the beginning of the pandemic, and I fucking loved it. So can't wait for that shit. And other than that, I am going to. Real quick shout out. I want to watch Knives Out, the first one. I kept hearing really good things about it, and now I saw some shit that Netflix, I guess, bought the rights or whatever, and it's going to turn it into a franchise with like 2 or 3 sequels. And I was like, I thought it was a one-off movie, so I'm fucking down. Let me go back and watch the first one, see how it shakes out, because I heard good things.
Yeah, you didn't watch the first one? First one's actually really good.
Yeah,
it's a nice whodunit with some twist to it. It's actually pretty good. I think Cronus, you saw it too, right?
I did not actually. I need to watch it though, because I like movies like that. So
yeah, it's Daniel Craig's in it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot. So Lakeith Stanfield's in it.
Oh wow!
Nice.
I feel like he was kind of wasted, so I hope he shows up in the sequel. But yeah, like, what's Chris Evans in it? He plays a complete and fucking asshole. Jamie Lee Curtis, Thomas Hayden Church, Ana de Armas, who's like the new hot girl right now because she's in Knives Out and she's going to be in the upcoming No Time to Die Bond film.
Nice.
Yeah, she's in a lot of upcoming stuff. I think. Oh, and then R.I.P. to Christopher Plummer, because the movie centers around his character, so it's a really good film.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Oh, and then of course Godzilla. I'll do that tonight or tomorrow. Oh, there's. I don't celebrate it, but my kids and my mom and whatnot are certainly gonna, I guess, celebrate Easter. So I think that's on Sunday. So I should have a lot of fucking time because they'll all be away doing their thing. So me and Mishka will probably, I don't know, since she's been vaccinated, maybe we'll actually go out someplace. Who knows?
That explains why I got jelly beans this week.
It makes fucking sense.
Yeah,
it's weird how it's on a Sunday already. A lot of people already have Sunday off. It's weird. Yeah. And it floats. I don't like holidays to fucking float.
Yeah,
pick a goddamn day.
Well, especially when it's supposed to be about the death of Jesus. Like he died on one day, not a span of day, and he didn't. But anyway, not gonna go there.
Pick a fucking day. I don't like this lunar calendar bullshit. Say it's April 1st every goddamn year, or whatever the fuck it is. Do better. Take us out, old ninja.
You guys ranting on. Sure. Sure. Quick side note. I'm gonna watch some Redo Healer.
Oh shit! What episode are you on, motherfucker?
I'm on the current episode.
Oh
man! I don't know when it airs, so if it releases tomorrow, which I think it does, then I'll be 2 episodes behind. I'm on episode 11. I'm on episode 11.
He got that motherfucking revenge on that Blade bitch, didn't he? That
was all bad. That was the weirdest. That was some shit that I did not expect. That was pretty fucked up. So I'm actually on that episode. So I didn't finish that one, I don't think. So
Redo is fucked up. It's not interspecies reviewers. It's all revenge porn, and not in a good way. Holy shit!
It's super petty, but yeah. So you just
but almost, not quite, almost justified in terms of his reasons for revenge, but not how he does it.
Sure. So check us out anywhere and everywhere. We're Black and Black Times Infinity. Check us out. B then BTI. That's BTHANBTI. Twitter, Facebook, iHeartRadio now, Spotify, Radio Republic, Check us out on Apple Podcasts. We're on there too. Check out our official website, BigHeadProductions.com/BDBDI. Check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Pacific Daylight Time, or PDT time, whatever the D stands for.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, sure.
CP time.
See, we do start at CP time. Don't start.
It's all when we're late. It's 100% my fault. Just saying.
That's not necessarily true.
No, it is because everything's transmitted through the Infinity base and it's at my house.
But we've had to wait. There's been times you've been ready. We've had to wait.
No, that's true. But I guess it's started.
True.
Yeah.
Punch U.S. agent in the motherfucking face. You got a punchable face, goddammit. So leave the actor alone. Leave the actor alone. Leave the actor alone. Don't fucking be a shitty fan online.
Yeah,
Crazy.